my youngin' say the other day that hip-hop's dead. OD'd on crack, rock, shot and brittle with lead. In a 5-star telly with a bitch in the bed. And a Jew taking out from around the neck with the head. Now I'm stuck really thinking what the fuck you just said. How we lost our identity pursuing this bread. It's been 25 years since the birth. The people that put in work, calling labels getting jerked.
This is my setup. The main piece right here I have is my ASR 10. I got the little Dilla sticker. Everything goes into the ASR 10. All my samples, all my synths, my drums, sequencing, everything is done out here. And then I have a motif rack where a lot of my synths come from. Okay. I have a Boss 303 sampler where I do my effects on. I've used this thing for the past 6 years. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? And I love this thing. I chop on it sometimes too, so that's great. So I got the 303, and then I have an Akai S20, which is kind of like an old MPC, and I like using this because I like bumping down my samples into a smaller bit rate, and I like chopping my stuff on here as well. And kicks sound really good on this, so I'll just do my kicks, the S20. And then after that, man, I just have a mixer, and I have an M-Box Mini, where I record all my tracks from the ASR 10 into Pro Tools. And then I have Reason open right now. I use Reason for synthesizer sounds as well. But I do it a little differently. When I have Reason hooked up, I have Reason running from here, triggered with my MIDI keyboard, and I run it through my mixer. And then from my mixer, it goes into the ASR 10. So it goes from the Reason into the ASR 10, and then when I'm done with the beat, all that goes back into the computer. So it's kind of an ass backwards way of doing things, but I've done it this way for so long that I feel like there's no reason to change it. I've gotten into Logic a little bit. Logic is cool. I like Reason. I don't sequence on Reason. I just use it for the synthesizers.
Okay.
And then I have a few other plugins like they're down here. Real Strat, it's a good program for realistic guitar sounds. And Addictive Drums is another real good program for drums. And I just have a crap load of drums. I have a CD spindle somewhere here. I don't know what it is, but I have a spindle this thick of just drum sounds, drum breaks, snares, kicks.
You know them all?
Yeah, I know them all. I know them all. So I'm really heavy on the drums. And all the shit, I used to use monitors, but you know, I barely used them, so I got rid of the monitors, and I just mix on headphones.
Right. We talked about that when I first got in. The you know, everybody says the bottom end, obviously, you know, it knocks on those things. So, you know, you mix it. You approach your levels in Pro Tools first. That's what.
Yeah, all my levels are in Pro Tools. So I mean, honestly, like I'll use fucking, I'll use ear stud headphones. You know what I'm saying? And I know I can mix it. The reason being is because, you know, you have to trust your ears. You know what I'm saying? Trust your ears and know how shit is gonna sound, and you really visually have to know it too. You know, like really, it doesn't matter what you use to mix your shit. You know, you don't need the dopest monitors or the dopest headphones. I like the Dre headphones because they actually sound good.
Right.
But you don't need the best equipment to make your beats sound good. It's really about how you mix it. Like I'm an audio engineer too. I went to school for it, so I know a thing or two about sonics and audio engineering and panning and getting your stuff sounding really warm and thick. Pause. So you know, just you pick things up as you go along.
Right.
Throughout the years when you're producing so much and you're doing it every day. You learn different techniques to make your stuff sound good. Yeah, it depends on who it is. Obviously, if they're in the area, then if I'm available, I always try to be in the studio with them. Like right now, I forgot to mention earlier too. I'm executive producing Pumpkinhead's new album coming out.
Pumpkinhead's dope.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead. Big shout out to Pumpkinhead and PH. So, you know, we've been going into the studio almost every Friday. getting it in and doing songs. And it's always better to be in the studio. I prefer to always be in the studio with artists. But with the internet and with convenience and people, you know, people wanting to work with me, not only from the area, but, you know, all over the world, all over the, you know, the U.S. I can't always be there, so it's, you know, half of the time, most of the time, it's just easier to just send.
Do you, when you're in the studio with them, are you there with like the stems and like, you know, everything broken down that you can, you and the engineer can fuck with it together?
Yup. I don't 2-track any of my stuff. Well, I do, but all the beats that I have are in Pro Tools sessions already.
Okay.
So whatever beats I have them ready on Pro Tools. I'll bring it on either a flash drive or I'll have my hard drive with me, and then we just load a Pro Tools session and just do anything on the spot.
Dope. You find, is that, you know, that particular method of you know, doing business, I guess, is that, you know, unique to you, or do you find like a lot of producers like to be in the studio for the finished product, depending on who it is? Yeah,
I feel like most producers are kind of on the same tip. I mean, if you can't be in the studio, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem with sending a beat over to somebody and them laying it down and sending it to me, and I'll give them feedback and tell them, you know, do this, do this, do this. Especially, you know, if they're cutting a check and you want to keep it moving, that's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? If I was in the studio with every single artist that I work with, I wouldn't have time to do anything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Walk up on you, force you in the whip, barrels poked in your ribs pop. Clear from a 6-shot, bills while in the hip cock. Apes with a shaper from C76 block. Queens home.